Well, good morning and welcome to Affirmations with Lucille. We are looking at day 18 of 90 days of affirmations with me, and I have yet 3 more affirmations to give you today. Our first is going to be our Anchor Affirmation, and it reads, "My presence in every room is a reflection of excellence." Number 2, "My boundaries are sacred and I honor them without guilt." And lastly, "God's grace is sufficient for me." So as I've reflected on these affirmations, I've been doing some self-awareness and understanding that my use of vocabulary is not the best, right? And I always want to ensure that the words that I'm using won't trigger you into thinking something that the affirmation is not. And so sometimes if I have an affirmation and maybe I discuss it with someone else and get their feedback, I find that maybe some of the words that I've used could be changed. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because our Anchor affirmation for this week, I've been thinking that I've been wanting to rephrase it, kind of reframe it. And I've decided to rewrite it, and it will now read that my presence exudes an undeniable excellence that transforms every space I enter. So if you've been following me, I always will lead with an Anchor affirmation for the first 7 days of the week. And then as the next week starts, I have another Anchor affirmation. And so this week, instead of it being "my presence in every room is a reflection of excellence," I now want it to read, "My presence exudes an undeniable excellence that transforms every space I enter." The reasoning for this change was the term reflection. And when I looked at my affirmation from yesterday and the explanation that I gave, it was more along the lines of, when I think of the term reflection, I think of when I look in the mirror, am I happy with what I see, right? However, I want this excellence that I'm describing to come from internal, and I want it to pour out into those that I might come into contact with. And so using the term exudes, right, changes that a little bit for me. And so that's why I've updated that affirmation. Now, moving on to the second affirmation for today. "My boundaries are sacred and I honor them without guilt." So how many of you can relate to me? You tell too many people yes, now you're overwhelmed and you're tired and stressed. Story of my life. How many of you know that because yes, you have said it so many times, that it is now creating more harm than just saying a simple no would ever will? When you set boundaries, they are supposed to be immovable, right? So ensure that the boundaries that you're setting are something that you can actually hold to. And even as I say this, right, I know for a fact that I have given way too much to my job sometimes, where I will work over, sometimes I would bend over backwards whilst my coworkers are leaving for the day, they're checking out, and it's not that they're not giving their all. However, they've set boundaries, right? And they understand that time is their most important resource. And when they need to leave at 3:30 or 3 o'clock because they have to take care of other duties or responsibilities, they do that and they leave. And so out of respect for myself and honoring my boundaries without guilt, right, I'm going to start saying no. And if that means I have to say no to my family asking me to go out on the Sunday that I'm meal prepping, I got to say no. I have to set those boundaries and ensure that I'm maintaining my discipline in order to keep up with how I want to continue to grow and become. So that's the second affirmation. And lastly, the third affirmation is God's grace God's grace is sufficient for me. And I'm taking that from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9 from the King James Version of the Bible. And it reads, "And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me." And so in this affirmation, I'm not asking for grace. I believe God has already given me everything that I need, right? And in this case, I'm accepting my weaknesses because my trials are simply a testament to God's strength working through me, right? And I never want to feel like whatever challenges I'm going through are too big for God, right? And I don't ever want to question God because he's given me everything that I need. And if he knew me before I was even conceived, and he knows all the days of my life, surely whatever it is that I'm going through, he's already aware of it. And he's already equipped me with everything that I need. I simply just need to go and connect with him and look for it and access it and put it to use, right? And so what does that mean for you? What are you struggling with right now that you need to stop asking God to take it away, but rather ask him how you're already equipped to take care of it? So let's go through those again really quickly. Come on, y'all get ready because I want to hear you say these affirmations with me. All right. Number 1, my presence in every room. I'm sorry, let me start back. I'm going to rewind that. My presence exudes an undeniable excellence that transforms every space I enter. I'm going to say that again since this is a new one. My presence exudes an undeniable excellence that transforms every space I enter. Number 2, my boundaries are sacred and I honor them without guilt. And lastly, number 3, God's grace is sufficient for me. Okay, y'all sound good. Thank you so much for coming and joining me this morning. I hope these have been a blessing for you. I know they have for me, and I love sharing these. And as I continue to go through these and review them, they've been such a blessing on my life. So with that, y'all be blessed.